Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Tobago, where we tell you about the plans and initiatives of the Tobago House of Assembly and the impact that these have on you. I'm Colleen Holder, and this week we're coming to you from the Tobago Cocoa Estate in Argyle. In our stories this week, New Scarborough Hospital will be open to patients before Christmas. Dr. Anselm London says the Finance Minister is wrong about Tobago's share of the national budget. Coco Reef Hotel gets yet another international award. And the International Cycling Classic and ESPN bring more life to Tobago's sport tourism.
Tobago! The Dwight York Stadium is the place to be on October 17th and 18th for the annual World Food Day. Come and see who will be crowned Farm Queen on October 17th. On October 18th, the goats are at the starting mark and all set to race. Farmers, there'll be prizes for the best livestock, food crop and wildlife. Daily competitions for children. Look out for the local delicacies, exhibition booths and various home gardening displays. See 2 Jamaican dancehall artists share the stage with several of our local acts. The annual World Food Day, Dwight York Stadium, October 17th and 18th, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Don't you dare miss it.
Finance Secretary Dr. Anselm London says Finance Minister Larry Howai got his math wrong in relation to Tobago's share of the national budget. Dr. London made the statement at the recent Post-Executive Council media briefing.
When the House is called upon to vote, be it in the lower house or the upper house, this is what it votes on. That is why this is called the appropriation bill. It is not a statement about a vote on his statement. Now, when you check the appropriation bill, and you check the estimates in here, the government of Trinidad and Tobago underestimated the amount owed to Tobago. According to his statement, the relative difference is $19.06 million. There's another big error in the budget that is going to cost Tobago a lot of money. The statement of the minister, given the way he defined a budget, and there are many definitions, but using his own definition, his statement spoke of a budget of $58.405 billion. And that's what everybody talks about. I'd like to suggest to him and to the public that that number is wrong. Because if you go back to the estimates themselves, Parliament is not going to take a vote on a statement. They take a vote on the estimates. And those estimates provide for a figure larger than he suggested of $58.578 billion, a difference of $173 million. The share of the budget that Tobago got, despite what people may say, is below the minimum. And the minister, we have written to him, it's 3.98%. And that represents over $22 million of money to Tobago that did not come. These are serious accounting errors in the budget. And I tell you, as long as I am secretary, we are not going to sit idly by and have this wool pulled over our eyes.
Tobagonians can look forward to inpatient services at the New Scarborough Hospital in Signal Hill before Christmas. Health Secretary Claudia Groom-Duke says it's another step in the overall commissioning process for the hospital.
We have been moving considerably since the partial commissioning in April last, and so the following services are currently located at the new hospital: the pharmacy, our outpatients clinic, the medical records, the x-ray, the mortuary, the cafeteria, quality department, including the occupational health and safety, the education department, and the purchasing department. And I must say that we have been waiting patiently for the completed commissioning of the hospital. I just want to remind us that we did say that it would take over 1 year to complete the commissioning of the hospital. Nonetheless, we will see our inpatients in the hospital long before Christmas.
Plymouth is about to get another facelift as a cruise ship port is expected to replace the soon-to-be-demolished fishing jetty. Members of the Plymouth Fishing Association met recently with THA officials to discuss coastal development for the Corland Bay area. Omadara Mills tells us more.
The meeting between the Plymouth Fishing Association and the THA members at the Calder Hall Administrative Complex revealed that a feasibility study has been done for the development of the Corland Bay area. One major project is the construction of a cruise ship port. Chief Administrator Dr. Ellis Boris explained.
We are expecting that at some time in the future, we will have the tourism industry have a tourism port in the area, which will enhance the entire area with respect to fishing, where all the stakeholders will be taken on board for discussion and to ensure the entire enhancement of the area, where we'll probably have duty-free shopping and all that in the Plymouth Blackrock area.
Curtis Douglas, representative of Plymouth Fishing Association, said that they welcomed the idea.
It would not only help the fishermen also develop, but it would also contribute to tourism.
But before the establishment of a cruise ship port, there will be the demolition of Plymouth's jetty in November 2012 so as to ensure public safety. This according to Secretary of Agriculture Gary Melville, who also indicated that a temporary facility will be built to provide continued fishing activities.
The Tobago House of Assembly Executive Council would have taken a decision through an Executive Council minute to demolish the existing jetty at Plymouth on the grounds of public safety, and we are expecting that the works will begin by the end of the first week in November. In the meantime, we will also be seeking to see if we can put up warning signs and so on in the area to try to prevent people from utilizing the jetty in any form or fashion, because we recognize that it's a very unsafe structure at the moment.
Representative of Plymouth's Fishing Association, Curtis Douglas, stated that the pulling down of the old jetty has been long in coming.
Because when we look at the state of the jetty and, tourists walking on the jetty, anytime it could just go off. And, it also has been said that something temporary will be put up at Leather Bay in which we could function, so fishermen will not be left out. We have seen some light, because for the past couple of months we've been highlighting and pleading and begging for assistance from, irrelevant authorities.
Secretary Melville also mentioned that renovation works will be done on the Corland Bay fishing facility.
The division have also committed to do a redesign and renovation of the facility. That redesign has been complete.
I am Omadara Mills for the Department of Information.
Government is the servant of the people, and the people have the power to effect change. These were some of the declarations made by Chief Secretary Orville London, who spoke at the Department of Youth Affairs Youth Roundtable. The theme of the event was an overview of governance, and it gave young people an opportunity to interact on the topics of politics, environment and tourism. Sophie Gill has more from the forum.
Speaking on the topic of governance, Chief Secretary Orville London said the level of democracy depended on the dynamism between those who govern and the governed.
If you compare, for example, Germany in the 1940s and the United States in the 1990s or in the 21st century, you would recognize that America can be considered a true democracy. What is important is that the institutions and the traditions and the groups and the environment are what in effect create that situation where those who govern have to operate within certain parameters.
Mr. London noted that those who govern need to realize that they are the servants of the people. While in the United States, the people understand that they have the power. In Trinidad and Tobago, the situation differs.
Until such time as people, young people, not so young people, recognize that they are in fact the people who have the power, that they are in fact the people who are prepared to exercise that power, the people who govern, will take the people whom they govern for granted.
Meanwhile, environmentalist Tanya Clovis Howai said just like politics, environmental issues require the strength of the people.
We did surveys years ago about turtle legislation at the time, and the vast majority of people that we interviewed didn't realize there was an open season on leatherbacks, didn't realize that the open season for turtles was open season for turtles, implying that they would have been fine to have a closed season. When the law actually did change, there was a lot of reluctance in Tobago to really own the law, the change, because they weren't happy with how it had been done. They felt it should have been more participatory.
The forum also provided a platform for participants to make their voice heard.
It was stated by the President on Independence Day 2012 that broken promises should not divide the two islands. What can be done to fix this area of brokenness?
Broken promises and the perception of broken promises will always be a part of politics. Sometimes it stems from the cynicism of politicians. Sometimes it stems from circumstances beyond their control.
Do you think we are doing a lot for the environment?
There are a lot of very committed, passionate people involved in environmental conservation in Tobago, but there are also a lot of people that are just a little lazier about it. There's no other way to, because a lot of people know what the right thing to do is.
In your opinion, what efforts are being made to improve the service aspect of tourism, as well as improving the ethics of Tobagonian employees?
If management is good, I can guarantee you that the staff would also be good. I honestly feel that if you manage properly, then you supervise your people properly and train them properly and treat them right, then you get the best out of them.
Sophie Guillaume, Department of Information.
He's the director who expects his staff to work 8 days a week, and he'll bend over backwards to ensure his guests have an excellent holiday experience. With these qualities, he was named Best Hotel Manager and earned his establishment the title of Top Hotel in the Caribbean 2012 by luxury tour operator Tropical Sky. Omadara Mills has the story of Eric Finier of the Coco Reef Hotel and the work he has done in bringing recognition once again to this Tobago resort and spa.
I know his intentions are always good, but sometimes he expects way too much. He expects sometimes you work 8 days a week in a 7-day work week.
General Manager of Coco Reef Resort in Tobago, Eric Finiet, has worked at the hotel for over 15 years. With the 2012 awards of Best Hotel Manager and Best Hotel in the Caribbean, here's what staff had to say about their working relationship with their manager.
With him being like that, he kind of like help us to grow as individuals, because you want to be your best at all times. So as a leader, he's a very good manager.
He has been an inspiration to a lot of staff, even myself, and the relationship we have. You know, I work very closely with him as the executive housekeeper, so we have a good working relationship.
The awards received by Mr. Finiet and the hotel were based on customer feedback through online surveys and comments. So with the hotel receiving high customer ratings, here's what some repeat guests had to say about their Coco Reef experience.
He's the kind of guy who will fall over backwards to make sure that your holiday is an experience.
Eric and all the staff make you feel so welcome and spoil you and just go out their way to make each holiday even better than the one before.
The service with the laundry, with the breakfast, with the room service has been excellent.
Manager Finiet gave reasons for the hotel's success and his reaction at receiving the award for Best Hotel General Manager in the Caribbean.
I was very, very surprised. It's something that you don't get every day. So it's very special. And I'm quite happy about it. And I hope I get on the hotel. I hope the hotel gets a lot more. I mean, he can only be the general manager. It has to be. It's like a package. It's the location of the hotel, then the friendly people of Tobago, then some professionalism into it, and you have a recipe for success.
I am Umadara Mills for the Department of Information.
You can now send us your comments to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Please see the bottom of your screen for more contact details. We take a break, but when we come back, ESPN takes the Tobago Cycle Classic to the world.
Tobago, Tobago! The Dwight York Stadium is the place to be on October 17th and 18th for the annual World Food Day. Come and see who will be crowned Farm Queen on October 17th. On October 18th, the goats are at the starting mark and all set to race. Farmers, there'll be prizes for the best livestock, food crop and wildlife. Daily competitions for children. Look out for the local delicacies, exhibition booths and various home gardening displays. See 2 Jamaican dancehall artists share the stage with several of our local acts. The annual World Food Day, Dwight York Stadium, October 17th and 18th, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Don't you dare miss it.
Welcome back. There were dozens of them waiting for the checkered flag to signal the start of the race, and those were just the participants. The Tobago International Cycling Classic brought spectators not only from Trinidad and Tobago, but also supporters from the participating countries. Sophie Guillaume takes a look at the event that's helping to keep sport tourism alive on the island.
The sweltering tropical heat made for challenging times.
I'm not acclimatized to the heat at all. No, there's no way. I'm still suffering. But you just have to put it out of your mind. So it was really hot. It split up pretty early, and I was lucky enough that I had a lot of teammates racing, so I can rely on them and get a slight advantage with not having to pull for the initial bit of the race and save some energy, and took off at the end, yeah.
While REID was able to persevere, there were many who started the race but failed to finish. The event, which is organized by the Trinbago Wheelers, saw cycle enthusiasts lining the streets of Plymouth and Scarborough as local, regional and international cyclists competed in several categories all the way down to races for children under 6.
Problem is a problem. When every blinking thing from Trinidad to St. Vincent, I want them all to know one thing. Problem is a problem. Want them over and over. At least round here don't come over.
The Cycling Classic started in 1986, primarily as a local event, with participation growing significantly over the years. Sophie Guillaume, Department of Information.
And familiar Tobago sights will be seen around the world with the just concluded Tobago International Cycling Classic. Last year, for the first time, the Classic was marketed through American sporting network ESPN in a 30-minute segment. But as Davia Chambers tells us, this year, Tobago will be seen across the globe for an hour as ESPN highlights the event.
Tobagonians, lovers of Tobago, sporting enthusiasts will all be able to view the Tobago International Cycling Classic 2012 come November on ESPN. Vice President of ESPN International, Bernard Stewart, says he is pleased to showcase the event and island to the world.
It shows the Caribbean spirit to places that probably wouldn't have been able to have that access. So we understand our role in this, and whatever we could do to, as I said last year, between the two of you, it's been kind of amazing to me that how the THA and an individual, not a huge bunch of people, but an individual can get together and make something happen and have it be meaningful. So we're thrilled to be involved. We're in it, along for the ride, as long as we all can figure out how to keep moving this forward.
According to President of Union Cyclists International, Pat McQuaid, cycling gives an image of the exact location where it is.
And on screen comes the shadow and the helicopter swinging around it, just as if it's happening live. And the commentators are informed in advance, and they're reading, this is such and such, Henry VIII had a few wives in here, whoever it might be, or is that your, or Napoleon, whatever. And the story of the actual countryside and all of that. And the commentators are given all this information in advance, and that's what they talk about. And there's a bike race going on. The men are sitting down watching the bike race. The women and the children are sitting down watching the countryside and listening to culture and all that type of thing.
Added to being shown on ESPN, the Tour of Tobago was given recognition last year by the International Cycling Union, giving the classic more potential to be known on the international market. That potential, according to Chief Secretary Orville London, is stupendous.
We fully recognize the potential that this has for branding Tobago, for marketing Tobago, for placing Tobago on the international agenda, and for those purposes we see it as an investment rather than as a favor. And we expect that as the collaboration continues, that the investment would of course have greater dividends. We expect that mistakes would be made. We expect that there are things that we will not do as well as we could or should, and that is why the need for evaluation and readjustment and so on.
President of Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, Larry Romani, said that Tobago is a natural place for sport tourism, as he expressed his satisfaction with the partnership between the Cycling Classic and ESPN.
I remember at the viewing of the last event, I actually counted how many times Tobago was mentioned in the 30 minutes, and it was over 70 times or something like that. And to me, people who are not accustomed to hearing the word Tobago, if they sat down in a room looking at it, it starts to play on the mind. And that's a type of branding that is required for real sport tourism to take place.
The Tobago International Cycling Classic was held from October 2nd to 7th, with teams participating from Austria, Germany, Switzerland, Canada, and the Caribbean. For the Department of Information, I'm Davia Chambers.
Dwayne Dove and the Tobago Cocoa Estates have won many international awards, and the name of one young man was repeatedly called at an auspicious evening for cricketers as they were awarded for their participation in the 2012 season in Tobago. This young man walked away with 6 of the awards, including Cricketer of the Year. What's his name? Here's Davia Chambers to tell us more.
Marcus Daniel, member of CNB United, was awarded for his hard work on the cricket field for the 2012 season. He copped the awards for Best Bowling Performance in a Match, Most Wickets, Highest Individual Score, Best Batting Average, one of 5 Senior Cricketers of the Year, and the icing on the cake, Cricketer of the Year. His team, CNB United, who won league champions, will also receive money from the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board. CNB United also with Sport Elite tied for overall T20 winners.
We are going to come across to Tobago and present checks to each and every club that participate under the Tobago Cricket Association competitions. Because we feel that if the cricket administrators, both in Trinidad and in Tobago, don't assist the clubs, well then there will be no need for no community and no group playing cricket. We must assist the clubs just as we must assist the cricketers.
The future of cricket in Tobago looks good as many youngsters captured various titles. The 5 junior cricketers of the year were Joshua and O'Malley James, Antonio Providence, Dejon Charles and Keylon Lynch. Lynch, who also played in the senior category, was one of the senior cricketers of the year and captured the most runs award. The others were Adrian Alexander and Damian Ramsey. Shaquille Duncan copped the title of Best Bowling Average. Assistant Secretary in the Division of Sport, Huey Cadet, had a challenge for the young cricketers.
It's always very good to appreciate persons for their effort and to recognize the contributions that they have made over the years. And of course, as Mr. Trim would have indicated, despite the many challenges they would have had, there were many very, very fruitful and very positive things that came out of the 2012 season, and I think they deserve a round of applause.
But while current cricketers were awarded, long-standing contributors to the sport were also acknowledged, among them the Chief Secretary. A special award was also given to Bill Brown by Mr. Basarath for his contribution to cricket over the years. He was one of 50 persons specially recognized by the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board recently at an awards ceremony. Dwayne Murray of the Charlottesville Cricket Club was dubbed as the best cricketer, while overall winner of the Carib Knockout 40 Overs tournament was Sport Elite. For the Department of Information, I'm Davia Chambers.
500 kilos of garbage. That's how much was collected at the Lambo Beach as volunteers from across the island participated in the annual International Coastal Cleanup. Juliet James tells us it's an event touted as a means of keeping Tobago green and clean.
Several volunteer organizations in Tobago came out in their numbers to the Lambo Beach to participate in the International Coastal Cleanup Drive. Groups were divided into teams of 4 to canvass the Lambo Beach shoreline and its surroundings, picking up different types of garbage. According to the Division of Natural Resources and the Environment, the debris found is usually collected in different categories.
The aim of the cleanup is to collect the garbage on the beach and to see the amount of garbage that is accumulated on the beach. All right, so it's something that's done every year. Okay, we have 6 sites, Plymouth, Bacalet, Belgarden, Speyside and Roxborough. All right, I guess we chose this beach because of the length of it. In the groups of 4, we have 1 person taking data and the other 3 picking up the garbage. All right, we usually pick up glass bottles, plastic bottles, and general garbage. General garbage could be like plastic bags, bottle covers, and stuff like that. We're not supposed to pick up syringes, condoms, pads, tampons, appliances, dead animals. We're not supposed to pick them up, but we are supposed to record them.
Children as young as 5 years from the Lambo Youth and Sport Foundation also formed a part of the cleanup crew. According to one of the team leaders, the hands-on approach to beach cleanup should create an awareness, especially among the youth, about the importance of a clean environment.
Well, a clean scene is everybody's responsibility. And the younger the children could get that in their head, then it will be easier as adults for them to just go through with the things that they learn from the young age.
Other volunteers from WASA, Bling B Mobile, the Division of Tourism and Transportation, the Rotaract Club and the Trinidad and Tobago Cadet Force Tobago Division expressed their reasons for participating in the event.
What encouraged us to come out this morning is to ensure that our beaches are clean, because you know that our beaches are one of our main tourist attractions.
It's a national thing. WASA in Trinidad, they participated earlier this year. They usually have theirs like 2 weeks before us in Tobago, and we always get people together and collaborate with DNRE and all the other groups that take part, and it's something that we want to encourage because I mean you cannot overemphasize the fact that we have to try and reduce the amount of pollution, and I mean this is just the end of it, where it ends on the beach.
To get some garbage out of the beach, off of the beach, put it where it rightfully belongs.
We are geared towards community service, professional development, and acknowledging international days of awareness and that kind of thing. So today we pay homage to the International Coastal Cleanup, and in paying recognition we give our support, and as you can see our crew here is working hard in collecting. There are lots of plastics and bottles on the beach.
Although some debris on the beach is due to strong current, volunteers had some advice for beachgoers.
When you really look and you scope the beach, it's a lot. More than we expected, you know. So we are glad that we are able to contribute to this effort, and we will continue as Rotaractors internationally and locally to help keep the environment clean. What you do on land could impact the sea and coastal areas. So things like ensuring that your garbage from home, your disposal at home is secure. You know, sometimes you may think you have your garbage secure, but it's open and it blows out into the drain, and into the drain goes into the sea. Let persons know, hey, no littering, pick up your items and put them in the necessary places.
But this is a everyday thing that we should keep the beaches clean, keep the waterways clean, from the source of the water in the forest right down to where it reaches on the beach. We have to preserve and we have to protect our water sources, because this is our life.
Walk with their garbage bags, keep the beach clean. Can't go wrong with that, because if you realize up in the corner there, there's like a dump. So that's for the beach goers, please walk with your garbage bags. So less stress on the little children and them for the years to come.
The approximate amount of debris collected for that day from Lambo Beach was 520 kilos. This included 52 paper bags, 432 plastic bags, 1,358 plastic beverage bottles, and 2,291 general waste items. This data is added to what is collected across the island, and it is submitted to the Caribbean Network for Integrated Rural Development in Trinidad. The total amount of debris collected throughout Trinidad and Tobago is sent to the Ocean Conservancy Organization. This is the international body responsible for the international coastal cleanup. I am Julia James, Division of Tourism and Transportation.
And that's where we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. On behalf of the Department of Information, I'm Colleen Holder, and we leave you now with more images of the Tobago Cocoa Estate.